Are you a real man or just a boy pretending to be one? Harsh question, right? But deep down, you already know the answer. Maybe you feel strong on the outside, but weak inside. Maybe you carry yourself with pride, but still depend on others for approval, money, or direction. This video is not here to make you feel good. It's here to expose the brutal difference between being a boy and being a man. And if you have the courage to stay until the end, you will discover the 5 pillars that separate weak men from powerful, real men. And let me warn you, this will not be easy to hear. Weak boys will click off, but those who stay, they will begin the transformation. Now, to make this real, we are going to connect each pillar with the story of one of the most iconic characters of modern cinema, John Wick. Because John Wick is not just a hitman with a gun. He is a man forged by pain, responsibility, discipline, and purpose. And in many ways, his story mirrors the exact struggles American men face today. So let's begin. The first pillar is brutal but necessary. Live as if your father were dead. Think about it. For most of your childhood, your father, if you had one present, was the one making the hard decisions. He protected you, guided you, maybe even spoiled you. But manhood begins the day you realize nobody is coming to save you. Not your father, not your friends, not society. In America today, so many young men in their 20s are stuck waiting for someone to hand them a good job, waiting for their parents' help, waiting for life to somehow work out. But real men don't wait. They accept full responsibility. And this is where John Wick teaches the first lesson. Remember when Wick loses his wife? She was his entire reason for living. She gave him a chance at normal life. But when she dies, Wick doesn't crumble forever. He accepts the brutal reality. He carries the pain, and he acts. He doesn't sit waiting for rescue. He becomes his own savior. That's what living as if your father were dead really means. It means stepping into your life as the sole owner of your choices. When you make a mistake, it's on you. When you succeed, it's on you. No excuses. And let's be honest, in the US, you see weak men everywhere. Men in their 30s still asking their parents to co-sign for apartments. Men who blame their bosses, their exes, their childhood, their government for everything wrong in their life. But a man takes the weight. He knows every decision is his to own. That shift from blaming others to full responsibility is the first step from boyhood to manhood. The second pillar is simple. Know how to suffer and do it in silence. Here's a hard truth about being a man in America. Nobody cares about your pain. Social media may tell you, it's okay to cry, it's okay to be weak, men should be open about feelings. But reality? The moment you break down publicly, the respect people had for you fades. Women lose attraction. Men lose respect. Society sees you as fragile, and you know this instinctively. When a man collapses under pressure, the world doesn't rush to hold him. They just step over him. Now look at John Wick again. Shot, stabbed, bleeding. He doesn't sit in the corner crying. He keeps moving. He fights through the pain. That's not because he's superhuman. It's because he understands suffering as part of his identity as a man. Every American man will suffer. Maybe it's grinding 3 jobs to pay off college debt. Maybe it's standing on your feet 12 hours in construction. Maybe it's heartbreak when the woman you gave everything to walks away. Suffering will come. The weak boy complains. He posts sad quotes on Instagram. He begs for sympathy. The real man, he absorbs it. He lets pain shape him. Diamonds are only formed under intense pressure. That pressure is what builds a man's character. John Wick bleeding on the floor but still standing up to finish the fight. That's the image you need in your head, because that's real life. The third pillar, always be ready for a fight. Now, I don't just mean physical fights, though that matters too. I mean the mindset that at any moment, life can punch you in the face, and you have to punch back. In the US, men are softening, overweight, glued to video games, scrolling TikTok, unprepared for conflict. But what happens when danger comes? What happens when someone threatens your family, your partner, or your own dignity? Will you stand up or crumble? John Wick is the ultimate symbol of readiness. He doesn't wait. He trains. He stays sharp. His body, his weapons, his mind, they are all ready for war. And that's why nobody can take him lightly. For men in America, being fight ready means training your body in the gym, learning basic self-defense, and most importantly, building mental composure. Because when you're calm under pressure, you're unstoppable. Think about it. A boy gets angry at the first insult. A man stays calm, but when necessary, he responds with decisive force. Wick doesn't scream. He doesn't bark threats. He just acts. That's power. So if you're a man in America today, understand this. You may never be in a physical fight, but life will fight you every single day. With bills, with setbacks, with betrayal. You can either fold like a boy or stand like a man. The choice is yours. The fourth pillar, be a little selfish. Society loves telling men, be nice. Sacrifice yourself. Put others first. But let me ask, when you sacrifice your dreams for everyone else, who comes to save you when you fail? Nobody. In America today, too many men waste their lives chasing validation. They want likes on Instagram, approval from women, acceptance from friends. Meanwhile, their own goals rot. John Wick is not selfish in a cruel way, but he is unapologetically focused on his mission. He doesn't beg for approval. He doesn't care what people think. He moves with purpose, and that's why he wins. Every man in America needs to learn this. Stop wasting time trying to please people who won't be there when you fall. Focus on your education, your craft, your finances, your health. Because when you fail, no one is returning your wasted years. Being selfish doesn't mean ignoring everyone. It means protecting your top priorities, your purpose, your discipline, your future. That's the mindset of a real man. Finally, the fifth pillar, be powerful. Power has three forms: financial, physical, and mental. Without them, you remain a boy. Let's start with financial. In America, without money, you have no freedom. You can't choose where to live, what to eat, who to support. You become dependent, begging for permission. A financially strong man can walk away from toxic jobs, bad relationships, and weak situations because he owns his choices. Next, physical. Walk into any room. Your body speaks before your mouth does. A strong body demands respect. A weak body invites disrespect. Go to the gym, train, not for vanity, but because strength is survival. John Wick's enemies fear him before he fires a shot because they can see he's dangerous. And then mental power. Without discipline, financial and physical power collapse. Mental strength means staying consistent, controlling emotions, and playing the long game. A boy acts on impulse. A man acts with strategy. That's why Wick survives, because his mind is his deadliest weapon. So ask yourself, are you financially independent? Are you physically formidable? Are you mentally disciplined? If not, you're not a man yet. So now you know the 5 pillars that separate a weak boy from a real man. Live as if your father were dead. Learn how to suffer in silence. Always be ready for a fight. Be a little selfish. Be powerful, financially, physically, and mentally. John Wick embodies all 5. He suffers, he fights, he focuses, he never blames, and he always takes responsibility. He is not a superhero. He bleeds, he breaks, he loses, but he transforms that pain into unstoppable force. And that's the question you need to ask yourself. Will you stay a boy? Or will you forge yourself into a man? Because life in America will not wait for you. It will test you. It will crush you. It will betray you. And only those who live by these pillars will rise above. Be like Wick, not in killing, but in discipline, in responsibility, in silence, in power. That is what makes a man.